This is a quick installation guide for your A7IV. So when you get the skin, it's gonna come like this. So first, what I would like to do is always start with the top piece. That's the one with the Sony logo. Now, when we're peeling these, you gotta make sure you're not ripping them off too quickly, otherwise you could damage the vinyl. So what I would like to do is you can either use the tweezer, but I think your finger and fingernail should be enough. What you want to do is start from any angle side and then peel from each side and then slowly take it off. You don't want to stretch the skin, you don't want to pull it too hard. It's going to cause some deformation. And then next, it should be quite straightforward. You're going to align it with the logo. You can actually just do it your way, but this is my way of doing things, and I like to use my palms, hold it while I guide the cutout the Sony into the Sony logo. And you want to get it as flush as possible. If you have any issues, gently peel it off and reapply again. So once you have that done, go ahead and lay the vinyl into their appropriate areas. And don't apply pressure unless you're confirmed that it's aligned and flush. Now this part's a little tricky, so this is where I recommend using a tweezer. You're gonna peel, lift it off and into the side. Should be quite easy. Do not apply any pressure and slowly use your finger to guide it in. And once it's flush, go ahead and apply pressure. Now, you can also use the squeegee to reach in and flatten out the surface. And some of these are sharp edge, so you can actually go in and hit those tiny crevices. You can also wait to do this at the end, but I like to do it as I go along so I can tell if it looks good or not. Don't forget the little piece for the O. So this one, I like to use the tweezer. So gently pick it off with the tweezer and then just apply to the O. Once you have that, use your nails or adhere it to the O. And once it's in there, you want to get it dead centered. Once you have that, go ahead and lightly brush it over and apply pressure so it stays in. So now we got the O covered. All right, so next we're gonna do the shoulder area. This is with the A logo, the Sony logo, Sony Alpha logo. Same idea, we're gonna align it to an indicator. Once we have that, just place it like so, and slowly with our finger, we're gonna fold it into the Alpha logo. And it should be flush with the camera lines on the body. So you can save these smaller pieces for later, or you could just apply them just because you're working on the top section. The most helpful tool here would be the tweezer. I know not a lot of us got slim fingers, and sometimes like these little crevices, it's really difficult. It's super important if this is your first time, you wanna get the application kit if it's not included. So next we're gonna do the body. It's a single piece, and this might be the most difficult part, but with a little bit of guidance, it should be quite easy. So first we're gonna peel from every corner, so we don't want any areas to be agitated. And as you're peeling, carefully look to see you're not ripping anything off, especially like this area. We're gonna peel from there. Same here. You want to peel and pre-peel every area as you're going along. You don't want to rip anything. So once we have that pre-peeled, everything just comes off quite easily. Now a lot of people would just apply it from the face, but I recommend applying it from the bottom because that's the most important part, in the sense that that's where the battery door is. You want this to be perfectly flush and aligned. Otherwise, you're gonna have trouble opening it. So what I like to do is align the tripod slot with the serial number indicator. So once these two are aligned, you should see the battery door cutout should be perfectly flush. Nothing's entering the battery door. And so while we're here, do not apply pressure to the front piece. We are going to work our way from the bottom. Now, this is quite a simple process. What you're gonna do is the battery door, run your finger along the battery door edges, just so the skins don't move around. Here, we're gonna fold it into the LCD section. And this area, you're gonna have to tilt the LCD, align that, and fold them in. Like so. So once you have the entire bottom fixed, now we can move on to the top. This one's quite simple. We're just gonna tug the skin until the A7IV is perfectly flush and aligned, like so. And once you have that, check the sides before you apply pressure. So that looks good. What I'm gonna do is, again, use my thumbs. Now I'm just gonna go over these areas. You can see there's no protrusion into these doors. Everything still opens. That's how you know you did a good job. Now this area, I recommend using your thumbs and then going outwards. And if you happen to have a little bit of a wrinkle, what I recommend is using a heat gun. You don't need a heat gun. You can just get away with your thumbs, but this is a very light heat gun. You're just gonna hit it with just a little bit of heat. And like so, just go ahead and use your thumbs to contour them in. I wanna go over this section here where all the dowels are, because it's a bit tricky. So first, we're gonna gently peel it. So we gotta slot a section of the skin under this switch. So what we do is we're gonna take the switch, we're gonna put it outside. So first, what we're gonna do is we're gonna slot this right under the switch. Now this might be a little difficult. Your goal is to not apply pressure. So this is very important that we use a tweezer, and then, there we go. And it just slots right under. Do not let it sit too long, it's gonna get sticky. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna agitate it until it fits in just like so. Now that we have the buttons in place, this white dot indicator should also align just like so. It's very crucial that you have a tweezer for this section. Now we can fold this cutout into place for the AF indicator, for the AF light. Make sure it goes on nicely, and it should just fall into the body lines, like so. Next, we're gonna do the LCD. Gently peel. This is where it could get a little tricky. We're gonna tilt the LCD like so, and we're gonna align it as close as possible to the edge. It's really hard to get this one aligned, but you just gotta look at where the cutout is, and you wanna be flush with the edge. And once that's done, we're gonna check the top. There are cutouts for indicators on the LCD, and if you fold it in, the edges should be flush again. It should not be under or over the edge. And once that's done, go ahead and fold in the edges, fold in the flaps. Same here. What you want to do is you want to create a crease and then fold it in.